Good to go. Well, this is the Sleepy Hollow Local Development Corporation meeting, Monday, November 3rd. Agenda is to call the meeting in order. So I believe we have. We want to approve the minutes from October 13th.
Motion to approve the minutes of October 13th as presented.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go to the approval of the expenditures. Seems pretty light this month, surprisingly. Anything that seems
What's
pretty
the
basic.
workers' compensation? Is that a standard payment? Okay.
We will significantly change where people wanted this month. It will change because that was when we had security guards, so.
Okay.
Use.
So it's just people that are on site. Oh, yeah, right. Any more questions? We've want to vote on approving the expenditures? Motion to approve expenditures.
Seconded.
In favor?
Aye.
Yeah. We don't, oh, I guess we do have, no, we don't have any resolutions. We'll just Dan's report.
All right, so starting with the east parcel, Homar fencing has completed almost all of the fencing work as part of the additional security improvements. They still have the gate at Beekman and the gate at the end of Continental and the pedestrian gate to install, which will be happening, I think, on Thursday or before the end of this week. All the fencing, gates, pedestrian, and vehicular will be set up.
Sorry, you said that will be done by Thursday?
That should be done by Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
I saw the roads, I mean,
The road is completely paved. Base and binder and a portion of the top went in last week. The remainder, they basically paved Continental Street and a portion of Clinton Street from where the parking aisles are to the intersection this morning. The electrical subcontractor has been coordinating with Con Edison to perform the final inspection and the service connection for the lighting. Con Ed has not given an exact date, though they did commit to getting that power on before Thanksgiving. So sometime, hopefully within the next 3 weeks, we'll be able to turn the lights on.
And will we be able to control that on a timer?
I believe so. There's within the panel, it can be set a number of different ways. But I believe they are also photovoltaic, so it can you just automatic.
Oh, yeah.
That I think that's the default. But if the DPW needs to turn them on, at a set time or earlier or later, I think that can be done as well.
And that goes all along the road, but not between debris and.
right, yeah, right. We'd have to do it temporary.
We have some existing poles that have some lights. I'm sure that the village's electrician could probably make sure that those are lighting, or if we needed to install a couple of interim, poles along the way. That's as when we get there.
On the fence.
Right.
Yeah.
Next.
One more question.
So they're pretty much wrapped up.
So yeah, remaining work for subcontractors. Yabu Fence has to complete the guide rail installation and the fencing that goes between Metro North and the wall and along the top of the wall. The Verde has to complete the lighting to get, or work with Con Ed to get it powered on. And then there's a subcontractor that'll be out at some point to do the signage and the striping. That probably won't happen until after the crosswalks are completed. just because there is some striping on the raised crosswalks. So that's sub work. Sean's Lawns, they have to complete topsoil and seeding, which should be hopefully by the end of this week. The topsoil was tested and approved. The end of, towards the end of last week, they got the approval. By Rue does the sampling, and then they submit a report to DEC to just let them know that's part of our site management. So the hope is that, the contractor's waiting for the site to dry out a little bit after last week's rain. And then they'll bring in the last 1,000 yards or so of topsoil, and do hydro seeding over pretty much the entire site. They also have to do the raised crosswalk intersection, and then, site cleanup and demobilization of the rest of their extra materials, equipment, things like that.
There was some standing water at the base of Continental.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was before the road.
In the road
That was before that.
is because
Yeah.
right, the basin binder went to about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
It was
below.
the- it was
Okay.
below
Where the
the-
storm
It
drain.
was below the.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Everything was constructed
We were looking at
correctly.
that when we walked down.
Yeah.
Some same thing. So about this standing.
Yeah,
water
okay.
On our new road.
How does the punch list, or like, how does the check off approval work?
So that's-
Final.
Yeah, I'll do a walkthrough with WSP and the foreman. I think they were looking to maybe do it towards the end of this week or early next.
He goes and the village crew goes through and checks too.
I can certainly try and coordinate with
Make
Anthony
sure
or
it all
Paul
looks like
McCarthy.
it's up to snuff. I mean, otherwise, want to make sure we're all looking at it. Right. We all see different things.
Right, so there's a number of things, that have already been pointed out to WSP and the contractor. It's just, at this point, they're down to a skeleton crew, so it's a matter of them just mobilizing the manpower as they are able to, finish certain items of work. So one thing to note about the raised crosswalks, the contract details that are included are for a paver block crossing. So the actual crosswalk is, I think the type of block that the contractor had proposed was a techno block, I think is the manufacturer.
It's like a rubber thing,
No, I think it's a concrete paver, or some hard,
the whole thing.
individual blocks, right? So it would almost look like a cobblestone crosswalk in
Okay.
an asphalt. The contractor suggests using an asphalt only crosswalk. It's more similar to the DOT standard. It's same shape. It's just that those pavers in the middle are replaced with asphalt only, and your standard crosswalk striping. That just for maintenance, durability. There it would only amount to about a $20,000 savings in labor and materials for the crosswalks out there, but something that they proposed.
Things are good.
Yeah, I mean, is it a nicer?
I would say the main difference is the aesthetics. On one hand, I did talk to Kevin Smith about this, and he mentioned that I believe there are some, I don't know if they're raised crosswalks, but within Edge, are there any?
Yeah, they just built them.
Okay, is it a raised crosswalk?
Yeah.
So that's effectively what would be going in.
Those are nice.
The new area, yeah,
Those are
yeah, yeah.
nice. I would just do the same thing.
So that,
There's asphalt, it's a striped
And
asphalt.
The ones that are an edge are the cobble tops.
right, that's what's proposed here as well.
I would just do that.
Um,
This is gonna be like a public area.
Yeah, I think, and the contractor's thought was, especially with some of the other, amenities down there being a little slow to come, it may be a year or two before, it starts to really look park-like down there.
Yeah.
So it's just the risk is, if the road is open to the public and you've got a lot of traffic and snow plowing over these crosswalks, just something to consider that, so.
So different, so we're talking about the timing of when to put these in, or which material to put in. So if we're saying we're gonna put in this nice material now have the park fully open and functional for some time, and still have heavy trucks coming through for the remainder of whatever else has to happen down there. So
Right, well, heavy truck traffic can be limited, to, you know, the raised intersection only, you know, if things are coming in through, uh, Continental Street. I mean, even coming in through
Yeah,
Beekman
they can
and that
turn
Metro
both
access,
ways
you can, so for construction traffic, that can be avoided. If, I think we're talking here just the, right, the DPW, if this road is open to the public, is gonna have to plow in the winter.
Right. Sure.
And you're just gonna have, I mean, it remains to be seen.
I mean, they're
traffic
doing the
levels.
same thing at Edge and everywhere
No.
else, I mean.
Like,
Yeah.
that was kind of Kevin's thought was, well, it's not, it would be a different story if this was the first place in the village that was gonna
Yeah.
receive this, but since, you know, it's not any added, effort to, you know, whatever they do there, they have to,
Yeah.
you know, raise the plow or however, so. So it was just something, you know, I just want to get back to them with, continue per the plan. Sounds like,
I mean, I think it's nicer. It looks, I mean, what they did in Edge looks really nice.
It does.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Especially once it's officially open.
Yeah.
They could pull down all that fencing around Daybreak. At least the first.
It's also like a different color, people can see that it's there. Sometimes you don't actually see it.
all right, jumping ahead to the, skate park design build project. Woodard and Curran is still working with their general contractor and the many subs and vendors to sharpen the pencils on the GMP. I've been expecting it, you know, just about any day now, so I'll continue to hound them.
What is
and
GN?
Guaranteed maximum
Guaranteed.
price.
Got it.
So that's,
Oh,
yeah, as you know, when they finished the design work, which is going back several months now, that it wasn't a GMP at the time, it's just the kind of final estimate for the construction cost is right around $3 million for, you know, the promenade, the skate park, and the, courts. And so they've been, since the, final scope of, you know, the additional courts and, all of that work was finalized scoping wise. They've been working with their contractor and their vendors because effectively this GMP is what they are going to build it for, like a lump sum, unless there are any additional changes of scope that would add, you know, to the project. So they are really taking their time to make sure that they have covered every angle because they don't want to get caught, you know, oh, we forgot to price out the water fountains, right? And then they're on the hook for that cost.
so if the last budget we saw was from the spring, it's probably gonna be higher.
Maybe not. I mean, they had contingencies in there for
Okay.
earthwork, so
Okay.
it remains to, you know, what they are trying to figure out is the work that, you know, our contractor who's been doing the roadway now, did they do enough, you know, and does that survey show that, hey, our site contractor doesn't have to do any
Got it.
regrading, it can just really build a slab on grade. That should reduce it, right?
Been moving next to that?
What happened today?
Oh, how long is that good for, GM?
Days,
It's
6 months.
probably,
Yeah.
well, and I would
Right,
say
right,
it's
right.
probably. It says in the contract, but it's probably okay.
So we don't have enough money, 90 days.
Well, and the design team is aware of some of the timing aspects, so I think we'll get a price that's maybe reflective of the projected start date.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll be able to lock that in for at least a period of time, and
Okay.
we think that might be able to move.
Need a big chunk of change to come in. Yeah.
Sure.
Speaking of the LWRP grant, we finally received the fully executed contract from the state on October 21st, roundabouts. So the grant administrator is moving to get that first big reimbursement submitted. Again, that has about a 3 to 4 month time frame is what she would project. And additionally, which
How much that will be?
So around February.
Yeah,
Or-
if things go well, or it's really hard to say. Once that first one does come in, we'll have a general idea of the process, but
And how much is the first chunk?
it'll probably, what we're submitting is about $1.2 million in expenses, which should equate to about 800, maybe a little more, thousand in
And,
reimbursement.
and back to the, water and current. At this point, when would their start date even be? Because it's November.
Right,
We're
well,
talking about April 15th?
it would be projected for a
that'll
late
give us-
winter start. I mean, because there is still, it's a design build, but there is still a little bit of lead time work that they have to do to
Yeah.
finalize the plans, get it submitted to the building department.
Yeah, but I mean, like the main,
But I
the main
think
go would be,
in a perfect world, they would, we want to take advantage of one complete construction season. So starting as early into the year as the weather would allow would be ideal, so that we're not running into finishing in November, December, or,
Yeah. Everybody's looking at that skate park saying, why can't we use it?
Yeah.
they've projected about a 7-month construction timeframe for that project from when, shovels go in the ground. So there's a little bit of lag in that schedule as far as the start date to finish.
but I mean, we still have, like, that gives us, like, if February is theoretically when we start getting. The timing might actually.
Yeah.
Right. And so on the LWRP, the grant manager from the Department of State is going to attend the site on November 5th, I believe, is what we have tentatively scheduled. Our grant manager has to confirm that date, but it's kind of the formal kickoff on their end, even though we're well into the process from a design standpoint. So that's good to just get them fully up to speed and explain and show them they can see it's real. The work has been done down there just to set this one up. Just a few more things.
Is that just you going with them?
I'll meet the grant administrator out there with whoever the project manager is from the state side, just to answer any questions and kind of give them the site tour.
We're looking at our other project too.
Yeah.
That one's done, right?
Power supporting was completed, reviewed and submitted to the state. And 193 Beekman, the developer Basalt, completed borings and site survey within the past 2 weeks. And they plan on getting, I think, the remaining site screenings performed during this month, so that they can start working with their architects to, come up with the final project and really get that. The sooner they can get it in front of the planning board, the better. So, and the developers will be giving us essentially like a monthly update, as we go through, just keep us informed as to where they're at. Make sure we don't, get hung up at any point along the way. With that, next meeting, if we're holding our every 2 weeks schedule, would be November 17th. Does that work for at least 3?
Thanksgiving, right?
I think it's
We don't have it
the week
yet.
and a half before Thanksgiving.
We had one for next week, but we're saying.
Yeah, they were originally going to be the what is it, the 10th and the 24th.
17th works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll adjust.
Doesn't work
yeah.
for me.
Doesn't work for you?
No, if we have enough people here, that's fine, but I won't be able to make it.
I'm assuming Mike is generally available. So it sounds like we should have at least 3.
I think we should do it.
24th work for you?
24th wouldn't work. That's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, what works for me, but I don't think anyone wants that.
And if anything, we can hold the 17th. And if it looks like that might be in jeopardy, we can always reschedule, that week. Try and find, even if it's not a Monday, do it
Yeah, that's
another
fine.
day that week or another time. All right.
Um. So for 193, there's nothing for us to do until they come back.
Yeah, well, really, I don't think there's anything for us to do, period.
Yeah.
So they,
Then should be aware, right?
Yeah.
yeah, so it's really, it's in the developer's hands and, to get something, to the
Yeah.
village.
When when the road gets opened up, I mean, we should probably coordinate with them, Tom, because they're probably gonna want to put a fence up so that it's not just ground.
Right.
Do we have a date in mind? It's actually, everything's complete and we're able.
I don't have a specific date, no. We certainly need all of the, Sean's lawns has to be done. And at this point, I've been asking them for this completion schedule, which I don't have yet.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, they can finish up over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, you also need the lighting, I would think, to be powered on. So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, expect it to be, at any time before really the end of this month.
Yeah.
Would be the earliest.
And I think we would have to have a dedication. And I think the village has to accept it, so it also
Yeah.
has to.
Yeah. Have you guys been talking
But
about
that- Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably we should talk to like Kevin and Chief Weddy and maybe the building department about their concerns and timeline and et cetera. And then we should probably make a recommendation to the village board about when they should take
Mhm.
ownership. And
Yeah, it's like, when is DPW gonna start actually, like, when can they clean out all their stuff so the DPW can actually just have that?
Yeah, Kevin is going to, I mean, they have some equipment over there, but with all the activity, the basically
Yeah.
paving and all the milling.
And
they've
they're-
been holding off to, they
Yeah.
want, as our contractor starts demobilizing, getting all of their equipment and stuff out of there, Kevin will, coordinate with them to start moving in.
And is the senior center, is that DPW is not doing that work, somebody else is gonna be doing that work? Anything that's along that edge of the senior center, like, does somebody else need access to that area?
Not at this time. I mean, if there's any access that's needed, they would have it through there's no fencing or anything back there. So, I mean, the area is fenced off, but it's just a matter of opening one of the 3 gates that are there to allow some. That work should be wrapping up with as the site is seeded, I believe the contractor mentioned that they were going to hydro seed that slope, once it's completely kind of flattened off. So there would really be nothing to do until the DPW or the back of house project comes in, because now that slope has been flattened out, there will likely have to be at least a short retaining wall put in somewhere to make sure that at least the current, DPW plan would still work, for the the fueling, salt shed, the items that are back in there.
So I guess with the village getting, if there's a dedication to the village for the road, how does it work? Pathway connection,
yeah, I don't know.
to freeze, because that's not really anything.
Yeah.
It's just a temporary pathway.
Like, is it possible to open that to pedestrians before we do a whole dedication? And yeah, my guess is we should probably recommend like a phased thing where it would be, but open pedestrian access this date, and then do a dedication in like whenever, and then go from there. I'm sure, I would think Kevin will probably have some thoughts on that. Like, for example, is it going to, like, in the winter when he's going to be plowing, and would he rather have the road open for that or not? And is his team going to be okay with opening and closing pedestrian access in the evening? We should just talk about it. So I think we should get those 3 recommendations and decide from there. Is it? Yeah.
We have one or two items in exec.
To the old business, new business. Never know what's really in this category.
Nothing from me.
Same.
Motion to go into exec.
Motion to go into executive session.
Seconded.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Is this for, is the